round those bases, bring all 12 runs home. Wow, you gotta put up a 12 spot. And you'll notch a win in the annals of trivia, plus claim your share of the $5,000 prize pool. $5,000. I haven't seen money like that in a long time. Not me in here. It's getting the juices flowing. If you really know your trivia, you might want to invest in a VIP ticket to send those thrills into the bleachers. A special VIP pot worth $1,250 will be split among the ticket-holding game winners, just as long as we sell 75 or more tickets. It's that simple. Although, I should mention this, all right? The number, we got people rolling in. 125 is a number that you should take note of, because that is where we will stop. So if you want to get into the VIP game, you want to get going as soon as possible, because the payouts will be high, and we will stop at 125. Show some confidence and turbocharge your game. All right, let's bring it in. What are we at? We're at 45. Keep it coming. It's almost time for that magic moment. It comes every Thursday night. You might remember it. You smell the trivia game in the wind. It's coming at you right in the face. Let's welcome that game into our homes and our hearts, especially our brains. Probably more important than your heart. You gotta have heart to win trivia, but you gotta have a brain if you're gonna stand a chance. Now it's that perfect time to flex that tapping finger, get a couple deep breaths in, and get ready for that mental workout we are about to give you. Remember that common sense in life, in everything, it doesn't always help you, and it probably won't always help you here, because there are questions with some twists and turns. We're not trying to fool you. Just think. Take a deep breath. It's like, you know, everyone did that on a quiz when they were growing up. You just would fill in the wrong answer just because you had to. Just take a second. But tap fast. Think faster. And like Matt would say, there's nothing to it but to HQ it. Asaf, are we ready with question number 1? In the original Super Mario Bros., which kind of item increases Mario's size? Is it a mushroom, textbook, or gym membership? Mario used to flex. There's got to be like a fitness center Mario somewhere, right? Pints of Ben & Jerry's usually do this for me, but as long as Mario starts out small, he can gain some serious inches with those red and white mushrooms. But watch out for the purple ones. Those are not good. 29,492 of you picked up a Game Boy Advance once in your life. Or a Nintendo Switch, original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, GameCube. You had something. Q2. Which of these is an alter ego of Beyonce? Sasha Fierce, Chris Gaines, Ziggy Stardust, or Jeff Eisenband? No, not Jeff Eisenband. That would be funny though. Maybe my alter ego is Beyonce Knowles. Everyone wants to be a music star, but many music stars seem to want to be other people. Certainly Queen Bey did when she threw on the character of Sasha Fierce. Personally, I could tell this was Beyonce. I could tell. But I get it. Sasha Fierce, Jeff Fierce. Shout out to 9821, tweeted at me right before the show, said, I don't know if I'll be able, if I have time to get a shout out in. 9821, if I'm getting those numbers right. Shout out. Q3. What form of wordplay does not involve rearranging the order of letters? Acrostic, anagram, spoonerism. I'm glad that we get this out of Q3, because I can't handle those those words this late in the later on in the show. There are many ways to have fun with words and letters, but let's say you write a poem and the first letter of every line spells out a secret message. That's an acrostic. Is it an acrostic or that's acrostic? Some of you were spooning. You don't want to spoon right now at Q3. All right, it's a lot easier an acrostic than writing a palindrome. Could we please move on to the next question, because my tongue cannot handle this. Q4. Which of these is the name of an American Horror Story season? Convent, Hotel, Manor. I can do this one. Doesn't mean it's not kind of scary. Well, it turns out buildings get haunted more than anything else, so they keep filming a lot of horror shows there. So stay away from buildings and you'll be fine, folks. While asylums and a house got in, only a hotel fits the description here. Ugh! I don't want to see that. What do we got? Yesterday was June. It's basically June 31st. It's July 1st. We got like What, 4 months till Halloween and you people are throwing that out at me? Hotel most people got. 17,165 of you are moving on to Q5, and you all know it's for the children. Which of these creatures generally has no gills? Crab, snail, walrus. The HQ trivia, I think it was the Instagram account, called me out on rhymes. I didn't even know I was hosting the show and they called me out on rhymes last week. I'm not stealing Matt's thunder. I'll say Q5 is for the children, but they're not my rhymes. Gills can turn up in all kinds of species you didn't expect, but there are absolutely no gills in any mammal, which we are, and so is the walrus. There he is. Oh yeah, just chilling. Not even the terminally weird platypus has gills, by the way. 14,807. I would chill with a walrus. I'd spend my Saturday night just hanging out. Hey, walrus, wanna watch the game? Eat dinner? Q6. Which Ohio city is located across one of the Great Lakes from Canada? Cincinnati, Cleveland, or Columbus? Oh yeah, let's get in some Ohio geography right here. Hats off to Canada on their National Day. It's Canada Day. If you're in America, you might just be able to hear them celebrating. And you would especially hear this if you're on the opposite shore of Lake Erie in Cleveland. That's right. LeBron was just a kid from Northeast Ohio in Akron, right by Cleveland. Happy Canada Day, folks. I don't know why we're saying that when it's a question about Ohio, but somehow Canada rocks. That's Cleveland rocks. All right. Well, 14,908 of you know your Ohio geography. Q7. Oh, a sports question. Sorry. Which of these MLB teams has been around the longest? The Astros, the Brewers, or the Expos? And if you don't know the cities, I'll give them to you. Houston, Milwaukee, and Montreal. Oh, another Canada question. Not every team gets to last forever, but some last a really long time. And in MLB, the first to set up of these teams was back in the 60s, and that was the Houston Astros, actually known as the Houston Colt 45s. But people realized that was probably a poor name for a sports team, even in Texas, so they changed it. Speaking of Canada, the Expos got in just later. They've been out of Montreal. They're actually the Washington Nationals now. And the Milwaukee Brewers were just a little bit after the Astros. A lot of you said Brewers. You might have been thinking the Milwaukee Braves were in Milwaukee before the Brewers. Boston before that. Atlanta now. Q8. Which U.S. state has never had a working battleship named after it? Delaware, Georgia, or Montana? 3 different regions. Can Delaware, I feel like Delaware is not even big enough for a battleship. It's a long-standing tradition to name battleships after states, but one of them has yet to touch salt water, which is ironic, since there was going to be an entire class of ships led by the USS Montana. I learned that. Hasn't happened. But what has happened here is a savage question. Or as I know them, a sacked question. Where's Michael Strahan? Where's Aaron Donald? Instead, you just got me. Sports fans, you know what I'm talking about. I miss the sack questions. What I don't miss is a lot of you getting something wrong, so people are making money tonight. Q9, that makes me excited. Use those extra lives if you have them. In ROT13 encoding, what letter does Z become? M, N, or O? It's not Zerg from like Toy Story. It's what I think. It's all I can think of when I just think of Z. This coding method is not for your most sensitive information because all you do, it's pretty simple. You shift the letters through the alphabet, either forward or back, 13 positions. And before you say, well, which one is it, front or forward or back, there's 26, so 13 either way. So whichever direction you go, Z becomes M. Right? I am right about that. If there's 26 letters, you go 13 either way. It's the same letter. I'm not crazy. Yeah, that seems right. Let me know if I'm wrong. That wasn't the question, so it doesn't matter. I could be wrong about that. Q10. U2 has a studio album named for what kind of plant? Annual, biennial, or perennial? I think that hit song on it was, "It's a Beautiful Plant." If they're looking, I gotta read the script. If they're looking for where the streets have no name, they might want to try the desert. That's where they picked the Joshua tree, which is an agave and a perennial. Oh yeah, I guess they didn't want to name the album The Agave, although that sounds pretty sick in my mind. I might name an album The Agave at some point. That was pretty close. Perennial gets it significantly, but when I say close, I mean a lot of you got it wrong. You said annual or biennial. About the same amount of people got the wrong answer. Congrats. Q11. What was the first movie George Lucas directed after the original Star Wars? The Empire Strikes Back, More American Graffiti, The Phantom Menace? You remember we said common sense doesn't always help you here. But if you read the question, it's like The Amazing Race or Survivor. You had to read the question to get this one. George Lucas changed Hollywood with the first Star Wars in 1977, and after that, he could direct any picture he wanted. But he still delayed his follow-up feature for 22 years until The Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1. Yeah, he came back to directing then. Irwin Kershner helmed Empire. Wow, nice job, 3,134 of you. 22 years. The question a lot of you gamers are asking, is that how long it'll take before the next GTA comes out? I'm glad to bring Grand Theft Auto in. Have you been following this, Asaf? No. Last Grand Theft Auto comes out in now I'm confused, 2012, 2013, next one in 2025? Oh, is that the last? Nuts! Grand Theft Auto 5 in 2013, apparently 2025. When GTA 6 will come out. But you don't really care about that. You want to hear the last question. We are on the final question, Q12. You don't have to wait 12 years between this or 22. You just have to wait until this graphic ends. Final round, final question, final boss, Q12. Who did not receive an electoral vote for president in the 2016 U.S. election? Ron Paul, Mike Pence, or Bernie Sanders? It's electoral. Presidential election. Also, it was 2016. In these last 10 seconds, you might have thought 2020 off the top of your mind, but we're talking 2016. And the wild and woolly election of 2016 brought a lot of surprises and faithless electors going rogue that just added to the excitement or lack thereof. Colin Powell got 3 electoral votes then. John Kasich picked up 1, but none went to Mike Pence, the eventual vice presidential pick, and it was close. Actually, it was a savage question. Those of you who thought it was Ron Paul, but it was Mike Pence with 1,197 of you winners of our $5,000 prize. Yeah, looks like a menorah. Wow, what a performance! I can't do that math, so we're gonna let the computers do it. And it looks like some of you won between 417 and 418. Hollis Martini. I'm so sorry Matt is in your heart, but not here tonight. He'll be back. Thomas M. Nice job. Fan Brooke. Knocked it down. Sparrow 12. Super BBBBB. Looks like Christmas 743 did a nice job. Aka Marazid wearing some. Stay bright. Jaboy. Out in the field somewhere. Piradacha. Charles D. You can pull down that zipper. Ernwood or Batman. Bruce Wayne, I don't know. Orish1234. Steak and K. Kim C. I'm pretty sure that's Queen Elizabeth. But maybe it's you. Heron 1. Nice job. Nice job, everyone. A super spectacular showing by all our winners. We haven't been writing these questions any easier just because we've been going on Thursdays. But you still punched through all 12 barriers, and of course, you've been richly rewarded. Don't spend all of that money in one place, unless it's the HQ store. And if you didn't hit the jackpot tonight, you still like we still like you. That's what we were trying to say. I still like you. Matt still likes you. You could still win other times. You're always welcome to come back and try again next week. Build up that mental muscle and see if you can get closer to your next, or maybe it's your first, victory. Look for Matt Richards to be back in the driver's seat next week. I'm Jeff Eisenband, thanking you all for coming out on a Thursday night. Maybe I'll see you again sometime soon. Until then, stay curious, stay informed. If you're a sports fan, you know, don't get vultured. Have a good night.